So I came up with a short skinning video, skinning largemouth. I'm going to end up editing a few things out, but I think there's enough in there you can watch it. You ought to be able to see what I'm doing. I feel like everybody can learn from it. So take a look. I give a few tips about other things I do with fish farther along in the process also. But I mentioned fin rays quite a bit. Just disregard that. I meant to say fin bases or fin butts. I'm talking about when you taking the body out, you clipping the fin rays or fin butts as they come into the body. So fin butts, fin bases, that's what I mean. So, but you'll hear me refer to them as fin rays. So just as you're watching, you'll know what I mean. So I think it's a good video, so take a look at it. You might learn something from it. I usually do 150, 200 fish a year. It looks like I'm getting pretty rough with the skin at times, but for the most part, I lose very few scales, cut very few holes. So but the main thing is when you're skinning a fish, just be careful with it when you're handling it. Just kind of follow those tips that I give in there, and you ought to be able to skin a fish and make a decent amount out of it. All right, this is going to be a right turn. I've already got my measurements. First thing I do is make my cut and clip through the bone at the back of the gill cover. I cut around the edge of the gills. Now on this, some people use scissors, some people use a scalpel. I don't worry too much on a commercial fish getting this started and losing a few scales. I try to be careful with any part of it, but I don't worry too much losing these few scales, making that incision. So competition skin mount, I do a little different. I stop my cut right there. I don't clip that bone. So it makes it a little bit harder to get the breast out down here, the bases of your pelvic fins, your pectoral fins, but what that helps with is your symmetry. Anytime I split it like this, if I do it for competition, I end up with just a real slight symmetry problem. So if you don't split it, you're good to go. You get it a little more even, but you have to figure out how to do it. It takes skinning a few like that to get used to it. So come back with your fish skinning knife. That right there is something a lot of people don't do. I like to split it. A lot of people leave it like that and leave this attached. I don't. I like to go ahead and flap it open like that. It makes it easier for me to get the base of the tail. Of course, if you never skinned a fish with taxidermy, there's just a couple basic things. That's the main two things you need. Everything else is just common tools, clippers. I go ahead and cut my fin rays way up, and I go back and trim them later on. But loosen it on the top and the bottom of the fish. Once you get it loosened, and I don't worry too much about leaving meat, because I'll come back and scrape it. I just go ahead and get the body out. I go ahead and try to clip some of these organs out of the way. Alright, so now I mentioned that I'd talk about crappie a little bit. One thing with them is before I skin them, I always leave them in salt for about 30 minutes. At least cover the show side with salt, but I try to put it up around the back side also. Of course, the skin is really fragile. It helps to kind of dry those scale pockets out and hold those scales in. You won't lose as many, but if you'll just be careful, maybe take your time until you've skinned a bunch of them. A lot of people take the body out in one piece. I don't. I take it out in chunks. As you skin a bunch, you get used to figuring out how to handle a fish, where you won't lose scales, you won't damage the skin. But crayfish, you always want to take it out in pieces like this. That also helps, but as you're pulling it, hold right there where you're pulling. And that kind of helps too. To not have much damage to the skin. Okay, so I've already done some of the scraping. You always want to scrape to the side like it, or straight down. You don't want to go back. Right here, the easiest way to get down in the breast, get all that, use this fish skinning tool, loosen it, and you kind of get behind it. Up here and clip it. Most of that's free. On a commercial fish, I do finish the back side of my fish, but I get rid of the back pectoral. A lot of times I'll leave it on until I'm getting ready to mount it. That way I might end up with less tears in the skin. I'll just go ahead and leave it on there for the time being. Soak my fish in denatured alcohol and water. I've also used rubbing alcohol and water. Both of them work pretty good. About 30 minutes before I'm gonna mount them, I usually mix up a gallon or two of water with a cup or two of borax. Mix it up, drop them in there. Alright, so see how far down I cut those fin rays? I don't worry about it. I just try to get that body out, come back and clip it a couple more times until I get it down where I need it. Alright, now this is a way to get it clean around these fin rays. Take a scalpel. This is about the only thing I'll use a scalpel for. When you skin a fish, put that scalpel down. All you're gonna do is cut holes in the fish skin if you're using it. come back and cut your tail a little closer. So remember, go to flesh it, try to keep your hand close, go that way, or like that, or that. Do not go that way. Alright, so I got to cut these other fin butts a little closer. The front of that pelvic is pretty tough, so I usually use these cutters in front of it. Got too many tools on the table. Alright. So that's getting there. Pelvic fins, they're kind of tough. The biggest thing is it'll take you a few to kind of perfect it. Figure this out. That's getting pretty close to where I leave it. I don't worry too much about this pectoral. I'll cut a little more of this off. But like I said before, this back pectoral on a commercial fish, I'm gonna throw it away later on. So that's getting pretty clean now. I usually cut the tail at this point. After I soak it in the alcohol, I'll cut it up a little bit more. I just like to get them fairly close at least. Alright, so the eyes. What I do, from the back side, pull it out. If it's got a big eye like this largemouth, you can use your fish skinning tool. Same thing, kind of keep pressure on it with your finger so that you ain't pushing too much. But even when you're trying to be careful, it's easy to cut a hole there. I still cut a hole on some of them. But try to loosen as much as you can with that skinning tool. See, some of it came out already. Alright, other side. All this, I get as much as I can out now, but if it's not perfect, I don't worry about it. After I soak it in the alcohol, I'll go back and check behind myself, see what else it needs. So, of course, you don't want to leave a whole lot of junk, because all you're going to do is dirty up your alcohol quicker the more stuff you leave on the fish. So, if you're soaking them in alcohol. So that's about it. Need to take this, scrape around that gullet. cut that collarbone on the other side a little bit. Got a little bit of a hole. But just go back and touch up these little things. A little meat right there. Sometimes I'll use a scalpel just to get it. So that's it. That's all I do when I initially skin them. Now when you got at this point, you want to be careful how you're handling your skin. That goes a lot into your finished product. If you're kind of mishandling the skin, you're going to lose scales. If you've got a pot-bellied bass, when you go to flesh this area, be real careful. It's easy to pop off scales on them. I actually got bins where I keep extra scales. If I pop out a bunch, I'll go back and actually super glue some in. So, but now I just go back and wash it, get it good and clean, and I drop it in the alcohol and just go back over it before I mount it, touch up little areas. So.